what's cracking. I'm out here in the UK on the Australia Compton tour, man. Much love. And you know you rocking with, man. It's Lil Easy E, and we about that online. So we finna get it cracking, man.
Peace, family. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you haven't already, hit that notification bell to be updated for new drops and content. Don't forget to check us out on bat.online.com, and you can check us out on Facebook for all different kinds of lists and updates. So DJ Vlad, who's definitely been one whose name comes up in a lot of controversy after times in the hip hop scene, and myself, sometimes you've heard me take not personal slights at Vlad, but have some disdain to the things that he's done and said in his platform. Now, understanding it's the media, and not everybody gets it right. So what I thought was interesting, I seen this interview recently with Vlad on the Flavor Flav show. So definitely want to say peace to Flavor Flav, and make sure you go out there and subscribe to his show and his podcast too. So anyway, I thought this interview was quite interesting because DJ Vlad, he spoke on just some of the difficulties you have sometimes in the media, and I don't just trash people or bash people. I give my opinions on some stuff, but I also give credit where it's due. And I think what he said on this was some great points. It was well spoken on. So I'm gonna play the clip and see what you guys think. So let's check this out.
Is there any interviews that you've done that like got people on their edge and like have animosity towards you? Or
yeah, all the time. all the time. Mm-hmm. I mean, for example, one interview that I held on to for a while until I finally dropped it. Well, there's a few. I'll talk about a few of them. So one of the interviews that was extremely controversial was I interviewed this dude named No Plug.
No Plug
out of Atlanta.
Okay.
And essentially, No Plug had recently killed this other rapper named Bankroll Fresh.
Wow.
But the thing of it was, and the word was, okay, Bankroll Fresh was a popular Atlanta rapper. He wasn't quite nationwide yet, but he was, making a lot of noise in Atlanta. Jeezy had started to do songs with him and everything. And a situation happened, he got killed, and then everything I was hearing was, this dude named No Plug, 21 Savage's homeboy, killed him, right? And then one day I got a phone call from this dude I know and was like, yo, No Plug wants to do an interview and tell his side of the story. And I'm like, is he charged, is he facing a murder? They're like, nah, it was self-defense. He wants to explain it. So we sat down and he sort of explained the whole situation about how, that was his man, but they got into an argument, a fight happened.
Right.
And came back, dude, Bankroll Fresh had basically had a gun out and shot at him first. He returned fire, and he, Bankroll Fresh ended up getting killed. But he turned himself in to authorities. They went through the footage and so forth. And a lot of people were angry at me, like, how you gonna give this dude a murder? How you gonna give him a platform? How you gonna let him talk? Because Bankroll Fresh was a more popular rapper, so it looked like a lot of people were upset. They were fans, but about a year later, Atlanta PD actually released the footage of that night, and you clearly see Bankroll Fresh with like a rifle, waving it around and anything else like that. So ultimately, the story that he said ended up being true.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But we got a lot of grief over that. A lot of people were angry at us. People didn't want to interview with us. I interviewed Ayanna Jackson, who was the Tupac rape accuser.
He was the Tupac.
She.
The Tupac what?
She was the one that accused Tupac of rape.
Okay,
and Tupac, remember how Tupac went to prison?
Got you, yes.
So her first ever on-camera interview her only on-camera interview was with me. And a lot of people are like, oh, she's the one that put Tupac in prison. She a liar. She this, she that. And, she got a chance to tell her side of the story.
Right.
And, some of the pieces didn't quite fit together, which I, mentioned. And, so people could ultimately walk away saying, oh, we believe her, or nah, she a liar. And Pac got framed. But ultimately, these types of very controversial topics of putting people and letting them tell their story, I think is important historically. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
I got you.
That's another one that was, you know, we got a lot of grief for.
Wow, my dude. Yeah, you've been on an interesting journey here, buddy.
Yeah.
Very interesting journey, man.
Yeah.
Is there any interviews that you've ever done that to where I'm now these questions is coming off the top of my head.
Go ahead.
And the reason why I'm asking you these questions like this, you know what I'm saying? Because first of all, come on, man, I got DJ Vlad in my studio, bro. I'm fucking out. You know what I'm saying? For real. Is there any type of interviews that you've ever done to where you would like to go back to somebody and apologize to them for something wrong that you've ever said, or what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah. There have been some, but since I haven't actually gotten a chance to talk to that person, you know, I mean, there were some interviews that ended not so well, and we were supposed to redo them, but then for whatever reason they didn't get redone.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things where, you know, there were some interviews where, you know, we may have gotten our facts slightly wrong.
Right.
And it comes out and it puts a certain level of grief on that person. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you know, I don't really want to specifically talk about those situations because I never got a chance to actually reach out to those people myself. But yeah, man, you know, you do. I've probably done over 1,000 interviews. So you gonna f up sometimes. You're gonna, you know, because it's all a bit of an art form, right? You want to ask the difficult questions, but you don't want to have the person storm out of the room. Right. So you kind of have to figure out how to get to that question, you know what I mean, without, by first having the person be comfortable and having them be, you know, feel comfortable enough to answer it with you and not just walk out or just say, I don't want to talk about it. You know? So yeah, there were some times, man. And you always try to walk that line of, you know, like, these are the questions that people really want to ask, but this person's also a human being and you don't want to violate their personal space.
So when you interview people, do you have your questions already lined?
Yeah, so guys, I definitely recommend checking out the full interview on the Flavor Flav show. Definitely be sure to give them a like or subscribe. And, you know, I want to say, you know, it was good to hear Vlad speak in a different capacity, not just on his show and his interviewing people, but him actually being interviewed and having a chance to sort of speak his piece. Although I feel as though we could have used it as an opportunity to apologize to the minister for some of the stuff that was said. He may have alluded towards that because it was reported that he had wanted like an interview with the minister, so he said he could, you know, speak to himself and apologize. But I don't think that's something that will be happening. But like I said, you know, props to props due. It's great to hear him speak and take the time to go on Flavor Flav's platform and, you know, help him with what he's building and stuff as well. So, you know, he didn't necessarily have to do that either at the same token. So I thought he spoke candidly and truthfully from his own understanding and stuff. And so definitely peace to DJ Vlad on that occasion. I'll be later pop Vlad still. But yeah, as I say, good to hear Vlad speak in a different capacity. But, you know, we know how it get, man. So definitely want to say peace to the family. Let us know your thoughts. Do you feel in the media that sometimes, you know, like Vlad said, it's a hard line that we got told? Even myself, sometimes I do interviews and, you know, as he said, you got to ask difficult questions sometimes, and or the fans want to know the questions. You want to ask the questions, but you ain't trying to be disrespectful or cause a firestorm, and sometimes it does happen. And so it's something we definitely speak about a lot, just media and just responsibility and stuff like that we take, and endeavoring to try and do the best and stuff. So we know that, like Vlad made a good point, nobody's perfect, we're all human, everybody messes up and stuff too. So sometimes, you know, we shouldn't be judged too harshly, I guess, for our mistakes, but when you do something in the media or in the spotlight, it's often magnified and stuff too. So I guess there's so many different ways to look at things, but definitely a cool interview. As I said, be sure to go over to Flavor Flav show, check out his podcast and stuff like that. He got some dope stuff on there. So let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and if you haven't already, hit that notification bell. Peace. Peace, family. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and check us out on aboutthatonline.com. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook for exclusive playlists and social media for all different types of segments and content.